Okay, quick video for some homework help. We are trying to go from fractions, like a test score, to percent. Sometimes we need to find the decimal, sometimes we don't. In the first example from the homework, we have 4/10. Remember, a percent is a ratio out of 100, or it's a number out of 100. So we can easily change 4/10 to a number over 100. It's equivalent to have 40 100ths, and 40 100ths is equal to 40%. We did not have to convert this to a decimal, but 4/10 can be read as 4/10. And remember, writing down decimals, 4/10 is written as this. That's 4/10. So the first one should have been pretty easy for you.
Peterson, Clocken, Lewis, and who am I missing? And Trent Arcan to the office, please. Trent Arcan, Tegan Peterson, and Clocken Lewis. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ron. On the next one, 3/8. Okay, let's imagine that. Estimating, if you got a quiz back from me and it said you got 3 out of 8, that's probably not one to take home to give to your mom to put on the fridge, because 3 out of 8, it means you got less than half of these questions right. Less than half means less than 50%. Hi Chase, what are you looking for?
The math.
The math. You want to take one of these? Good man. Just putting the answers up in a quick video so you can watch it if you're getting stuck. It'll be in Jupiter Grades under downloads.
Okay.
Okay, and if you're listening to this later tonight, it means you found it. All right, bye Chase. He's famous. So in this case, when I want to convert that into something over 100, it's like, what? I don't know, 8 times what is 100? Well, it doesn't just pop into my mind really quickly. Nobody knows what 8 times 12 and a half is. Well, you might not know it's times 12 and a half. So in this case, this is where a decimal is going to be really useful. So on our calculator, we're going to go from 3/8 to 3 divided by 8, and we're going to times that by 100. And when you do that on your calculator, you're going to get 0.375. And when you times that by 100, so 3 divided by 8 is 0.375. We times that by 100, and it's going to equal 37.5%. And of course, you can round that to 38% if you like. Now, a couple years ago, I decided I was going to memorize all the eighths. I do a lot of woodwork. And so I actually did memorize that 1/8 is equal to 12.5%. And 2/8, which is a quarter, is 25%, and so on. So you could find 3/8 by adding 12.5 plus 25 and getting 37.5, and so on and so forth. 4/8 is 50%, and so, you know, most of us know that a half is 50%, or that a quarter is 25%. Knowing that an eighth or 3/8 is 12.5 or 37.5% is sort of useful sometimes. So that was our second question. So that's what you should have got. On to the third question. With the fraction that we're given is 1/6. So obviously if you got 1 out of 6 on a test, again, that's not a very good score. Using the formula that we've talked about in class, you're going to do 1 divided by 6 times 100, and that's going to give us the decimal and then the percent. So I'm just going to do this one. 1 divided by 6, we get 0.1666, and it goes on for a while, and we get a 7 eventually. When we multiply that by 100, you don't need to do that on your calculator. Remember, when you multiply by a power of 10, for every 0 in the 10 or the 100 or 1000, you're going to move the decimal 1 to the right. So in this case, when we multiply this by 100, we're going to move that decimal over 2 places. So we're going to get we're going to get 16.66, and it continues on 7. So it's this decimal, it was a repeating decimal, it terminates there at the 7. We're going to round this just off to 16. We're going to round this just off to 17%. You could round it to 16.7 if you needed to go to tenths, or 16.67 if you're rounding to hundredths. But in this case, I'm just going to round that to 17%. And also, I guess that way, if you wanted to know what 4/6 was, you could just have 4 17s, or add 17% to 50% and get 67%. So hopefully you're getting it. Here's another easy one, 1/4. I'd really like it if when you saw these types of questions you weren't picking up your calculator, because 1/4, but remember we're trying to turn this into a fraction over 100, and 4 is a factor of 100, so by grade 7, you should be able to say, oh yeah, I have 4 quarters in my pocket, and that makes $1. And in this case, hopefully, you maybe hopefully don't have to do all this work either. You just know that 1/4 is equal to 25 hundredths, and that's equal to 25%. On 6/10, challenge yourself, hopefully. On this one, 6/10, that's written like that as a decimal, 6/10. And when we change a decimal into a percent, we just move that decimal 2 spots to the right, because we're multiplying by 100. So we're going to have 60%. So if 6/10 is 0.6, or 60%, hopefully pretty quickly you can see that the next question, 1/10, is equal to 0.1, which we would read that as 1/10, and that's equal to 10%. And we finished this homework sheet, the front side anyway, with 2/9. 2/9 is one that's not really one of those friendly numbers that we're going to know, so we'll use the calculator or do long division. 2 divided by 9 equals 0.22, and that just continues on and on and on. That's a repeating decimal. So to turn that into our percent, remember we're going to multiply it by 100. It even says 22 hundredths, and we know we've got 22% there. So also not a very good test score. Anyway, I hope that helped. Remember, when it comes right down to it, always look first to see if you can do it without your calculator, and then try numerator divided by denominator times 100, round it, and that should give you the percent. So hopefully that helps. Try the back side of this. It looks like pretty much the same stuff, no tricks there, and we'll take a look tomorrow in class. Good luck.